Welcome to the Officer Autumn Show podcast, the realest and most upfront podcast designed specifically for female first responders. I'm your host, Autumn Clifford, and I hope you enjoy this podcast.
So I found this soap company that's Leo owned, and they make women soap and men soap. And here's why this is important. There's a lot of excellent homemade and handmade and all natural soap, but they don't make men and women's soap. And so I found this company. It's called Patriots and Company. Highly suggest you look it up and check them out. I have a whole box of their soap that they sent me, and my favorite one is called American Woman. It's pink, smells amazing. I've been washing with Beautiful Badass. That's really nice too. They have a Whiskey Girl one that I really like. Anyways, go check it out. They also have scents for men. But I wanted to just give them a quick shout out on here because I wanted to tell you about that because, look, we're ladies. We need to know the companies that are doing things for us.
So today we're going to talk about bullying and being bullied as a female cop. And this comes straight from the DMs. So again, if you have a question or you have a topic you want me to talk about, please feel free to DM me. Always looking to help. All of the women in law enforcement are going in. I'm always happy to just help anybody, really. So, if you're not into our Facebook group, we have a Facebook group. It's called Officer Autumn's Female Officers. Definitely come in to that. You, I believe, will enjoy that. If you are not into the Lady Sheepdog Club. So the Lady Sheepdog Club is the premier training and educational and sisterhood that is out there for female cops. We've changed some things. And so if you have already maybe hit the website, hit it again, take a look at it, see if you need to be a part of it. Instead of a monthly fee, it's a one-time payment and there's definitely, I have multiple payment options so that you can all come in. Every single month, we're bringing in high-level trainers and experts. We've had Kenny Williams from Street Cop Training talking about interdiction. That whole training is in there, which is cool because the women get to get up close and personal and ask him a ton of questions. We've had Cindy Doyle in from the Code 4 Couples Project. She is an amazing police wife and therapist. And that training in there is so valuable for female cops. She really geared it towards us and our relationships. And there's a bunch of other trainings. I've got tons of trainings secured. Plus, again, we're on WhatsApp. So it's a very secure and very supportive sisterhood. So go check it out. Lady Sheepdog is down. You can check it out with the link. It's right in your show notes. Okay, so let's talk about bullying. Okay, so this lovely lady, she's a female officer, and she says that she is being bullied, and she feels like everywhere she goes, and it's coming from the coworkers, but then like it's coming from everywhere, right? And so basically what they're saying is, and she says that girls gang up on her, like the mouthy ones. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. So I can relate to this. So growing up, I'm an only child. So I had like a really hard time like relating to people, okay, in the beginning. And then I have gone to daycare since I've been 6 months old. So I was very well socialized. I spent a lot of time with adults more than children just because I was an only child. And when as I like was growing up, I had cousins around, and that's who I predominantly spent a lot of my time with, and they would pick on me. Okay. And that translated over into school. They would pick on me. My own cousins would pick on me in school. And then it translated to like other people picking on me. And here's the deal. Some of it was because of how insecure I was. Okay. So people like pick up on our insecurities. And the people who pick up on our insecurities are the most insecure people. And the reason they pick up on our insecurities is because they are so incredibly insecure that they have to pick on other people in order to make themselves feel good about themselves. So the people that are picking on you, it doesn't matter the gender, doesn't matter what they're doing for work, they are fucking insecure. They are weak. They have a lot of fucking issues. They have so many issues and they will never let you see those issues. They're very below the surface. Okay. Like I bet they go home and drink themselves numb. All right. Like, you know, or in a lot of like toxic fucking relationships and you just don't know it. And what is sad is it's really that high school mentality of bullying. Like, I feel so badly about myself that I'm just going to make other people feel like shit about themselves because then it removes the spotlight from me. Another thing it could be, okay, is I don't know this particular woman. And so I'm just going to throw some things out there is when we are perceived as weak in law enforcement, whether we are or we aren't, but when we are actually perceived as weak, like there are like there's solid shit to back up behind that, meaning can't handle calls, can't handle like shooting your gun, freaks out on the radio, becomes overly emotional, seems to be irrational, doesn't really like fit in with the guys. And what does this mean? Like I'm going to make a whole podcast about it, but what I mean by that is you may like not be able to handle any of the joking and may not be able to handle anything that's being said. And like, they realize that you're getting offended immediately. And so then like they walk on eggshells around you, and that's not good either, because then you're never really truly going to be able to be accepted as like part of like the brotherhood. And there's always a balance, right? We don't accept people being completely disrespectful to us, but there's a difference between them like busting your balls for a minute, because all guys bust each other's balls and it doesn't mean anything, versus like you are just the ass of every fucking joke. They don't want to hang out with you, they don't want to back you up, nobody wants to be around you. Like there's a difference, and you don't want the latter, because that tends to come from somebody who is like just can't take a joke and who is you know, I don't know, who probably has a little bit of baggage and has been treated poorly by men, or you know, men in their coworkers, and they don't trust them, which is fine. I'm just telling you, there's a balance to this. There really is. It's the art of the fucking balance, man. And some officers, some women have no problem. Like they'd be listening to this rolling their fucking eyes because they get it. And then there's some of us who, you know, it's more difficult depending on our background, depending on our police department that we are at. I mean, the culture is different everywhere. And like, we have to be keeping that in mind too. So if you are actually being perceived as weak, then it's time to look in the mirror and ask yourself, okay, so am I actually weak? And if you are in areas, go fix that. Okay. So how do we fix that? Well, we go and we train in the martial arts. If you cannot fucking fight your way out of a wet paper bag, just be honest about it. Don't let the streets make you honest. Okay. Like that's how I feel about that. Like, don't let the streets make you honest. Like, get honest and then go train. So that, I mean, if you go train and you commit, in 3 months, you're going to be completely different. Doesn't mean I want you to quit after 3 months, but like, even just 3 months, like that's what I'm saying, ladies. Like you don't have to go and take martial arts for fucking 20 years like I did. You don't have to do that, but you do need to go, and you need to commit to like a substantial amount of time training. And, you know, like a good goal would be to become a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you can become a blue belt, and that's going to take you, it depends on where you go, depends on how much you train. I'd say that that's going to take you 1 year to 2 years. It just depends on everything, okay? But hypothetically, maybe 2 years of training like 2 to 3 times a week and training hard and really focusing there, right? if you could do that, you will be unrecognizable, even just after the first 3 months. Now, if you don't want to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right off the bat, I suggest you take 3 to 6 months and go and learn how to box and kickbox and, really understand that. And again, I'm just going to tell you, like, I just want to see you in some sort of martial art. Like, I just want to see you working out and training. We get so hyped up on, like, all I see online is like CrossFit and all of this shit. But, like, there's not enough emphasis on, like, just martial arts. I see CrossFit and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But, like, there's so much in between that we have to remember that, okay? So if you're feeling threatened and, like, a little nervous, I'm telling you the best way to break it in is to go and learn how to fucking fight. Go learn how to be punched in the face. Because you've got to learn how to work through all of that. And to me, there is no better teacher than boxing or kickboxing, okay? Because you have to learn how to breathe. They're going to get you into fighting shape. And you're going to have to learn how to motherfucking bob and weave. And I know it's funny, but it's true. You're going to have to learn defense. You're going to learn how to punch. You're going to learn how to really put your whole body into your punches. This is the stuff that matters. Now, is anybody out there actively, like, no, like, typically you're not going to go out there and, like, actively punch anybody in the face, okay? But it's, like, the most basic fucking thing, okay, is to be able to know how to throw a punch and how to pack a punch, like, and take one, right? Like, you have to know how to do these things. And as a woman, I just think this is so empowering. And then after, like, 3 months of that transition, you can still do that and then start taking up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Start taking up, it doesn't have to be Brazilian. You can just take up Jiu-Jitsu. Just take up that, whatever is available for you. That is going to help immensely with your reputation. It's going to help with your self-confidence, your self-esteem. It's going to help everything. There's nothing that is going to come out that's wrong if you're training at a good dojo. Don't go and train where there's a bunch of fuck boys and all they want to do is fucking just crush you in, especially as a girl who doesn't know anything. I've been there and I've trained with those guys, okay? That is not fun for anybody. And for a career martial artist, that was enough for me to pause. And I personally need to get my shit back together. I've been looking into some places and will be going and training again myself. Again, for me, because of my back, that everybody loves to fucking forget that I'm injured. They like to fucking crush me, and that sucks. But I just want you to know, like, I'm getting back into it myself. So, because I do think it's extremely important. Even my part-time ass who's not even on patrol, who knows when someone's going to fucking pull up on duty or off duty. We don't know. And so we have to be ready, and that's really going to help you. Another thing that I would just implore you to do, and this is the coach in me coming out, but you can ask any of my clients, if you do this work, it really it changes your life. Like, you will become a new person. As you really need to take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, like, am I insecure? What energy am I putting out there? Like, ask yourself, like, why do people pick on me? You know the answer. Are you surrounding yourself with fucking assholes? Like, ask yourself that. Are you surrounded by a bunch of insecure pricks? Why are you insecure? What in you enjoys being picked on? Yes, we do attract it sometimes, okay? What it is I'll tell you, because this was me until I leveled up. I just wanted to be liked and I wanted to be fit in so badly that I would do it at the expense. Like, I didn't care. I do it at the expense of anything. It didn't matter the kind of attention I was getting. I just wanted attention. I wanted people to like me. Okay. This is why I teach about being liked or respected. It's not because I think I'm better than anybody. It's because I've been there. I know what it's like to want to be liked and what comes of that fucking attention from a woman, like that energy, that mindset. I know what comes of that. Okay. And it's not good. It's not good. So we have to just, keep that in mind, and self-reflect. Also, what I just want to say, because I can't even remember if I said it, some people are just motherfucking assholes, right? Like, again, it really goes back to their being insecure. But I just want to say this too, like, pay attention to where it's coming from and how much weight you're going to put there, and ask yourself like how you can get away from being surrounded by a bunch of fucking dicks. And if you can't, and it's getting extreme, then, you need to go through your proper chain of command or whatever, HR, etc. I mean, we have to be setting boundaries, right? But also, I just want to say, like, people, even though you can do all this self-reflecting and you can do all these things, which I'm telling you, don't fucking skip. It's extremely important. And they can be insecure and all these things. At the end of the day, nobody deserves to be bullied or harassed. And we have to, we have to take the steps that we have to take. So like, I meant to say that earlier. I can't really remember if I did. So if it's repetitive, forgive me. But also just don't forget, people are assholes and they're unhappy and they're miserable in their lives. And so they take it out on good people. They take it out on people who look like they're fucking having a good time because they're jealous of you. So just remember that as well, okay? I hope this was helpful. I felt like a lot of women could use this. This is why I answered it via the podcast. Join the Lady Sheepdog Club if that you find that could be helpful, and I will see you next time.